This is the story of the men who enforced the unwritten laws of pipeline and how a surf break became the territory of two of the most feared organizations in the sport. In the last video, we broke down how the hierarchy at the world's deadliest wave works. Today, we're covering the muscle behind it, because a code without enforcement is just a suggestion, and at Pipeline, nothing about the code is a suggestion. The story starts in the winter of 1975, when a crew of brash young Australians and South Africans landed on the North Shore and changed everything. Wayne Bartholomew, Ian Cairns, Peter Townend, Mark Richards, and Sean Thompson dominated the Hawaiian waves that season, pushing hard to turn surfing into a professional sport built around their own star power. Then Bartholomew put his mouth in print. His 1977 Surfer magazine article, Bustin' Down the Door, declared the old aloha finished, and it enraged the Hawaiian community in a way the visiting pros never saw coming. The response was swift and physical. Bartholomew took a beating at the hands of the Black Shorts, reportedly losing teeth, and went into hiding under genuine death threats. Legendary waterman Eddie Aikau eventually mediated a peace, stopping the conflict from exploding into what some feared would become a full civil war on the North Shore. Those Black Shorts had a name, and that organization still exists today. Dahui, formerly Hui o Hee Nalu, roughly the club of wave riders, formed in the mid-70s under founders including Eddie Rothman and Clyde Aikau. Their purpose went far beyond surf etiquette. They organized to defend traditional Hawaiian surf culture and local access at a moment when foreign surfers and corporate money were flooding their coastline. They became famous for paddling out in force during contests to protest their waves being handed to commercial events. Rothman put it plainly, they formed a club to let the world know there is a people of this land. His personal code was even more direct. When he surfs, don't bother him. Don't bother his kids. Don't bother the other kids around there. Just stay out of the way. Today it lives a double life. Hui o Hee Nalu as a non-profit for Hawaiian culture. Dahui as a separate clothing brand. The group also puts on one of the most respected events in surfing, which we'll get to. The second wave of enforcement arrived in 2001 when Kayla Alexander and Kai Garcia founded the Wolf Pack, a crew made up mostly of surfers from Kauai. Alexander had moved to Oahu and found the pipeline lineup chaotic and stripped of respect. So he did something about it. He explained it plainly. They run in a pack. They work together, and when you mess with one of them, you mess with all of them. The early crew included Andy Irons, Bruce Irons, Sonny Garcia, and Dustin Barsa, and their approach made headlines fast. Alexander was filmed handing out beatings to surfers who broke the code, and in 2003, he reportedly went around requesting surfboards from visiting pros as tribute. An Australian magazine ran a 2004 profile crowning him the toughest man in surfing. The reputation stuck. And strangely, it launched an acting career from an angry local in Blue Crush in 2002 through Hawaii Five-0 and other Hollywood productions. Now, to be fair, this isn't a simple story of bullies ruining a beach. The defenders lead with safety, and their argument carries real weight. Reporting from 2005 found that on good days, as many as 80 surfers would paddle into a lineup safely surfable by about 20. Wolfpack surfer Dustin Barsa described 8 people coming off the reef with sliced open legs and broken bones, nearly dying out there, and said the ones causing the problems were visitors, not islanders. Alexander's philosophy came down to a single principle. The code is to respect other people. Visitors show up and disrespect that. And whether you're in Kauai or Brooklyn, locals have the right of way. The critics have their own file of evidence, some of it documented in courtrooms rather than surf magazines. At the 2007 Pipeline Masters, Hawaiian power surfer Sonny Garcia collided with Brazilian competitor Neko Padarots during a heat, then tried to choke him in the water, punched out one of his fins, and chased him up the beach until police escorted Padarots away for his own safety. Garcia's troubles went beyond the water. A federal court sentenced him in 2006 to 3 months in prison, plus 7 months of home confinement for tax evasion, after he failed to pay taxes on more than $400,000 in prize money. But enforcement at Pipeline was never only about who threw the hardest punches. It was also about who owned the sand. The 3-story home standing directly in front of the wave was built in the late 70s by Jerry Lopez and his partners. Everyone simply knew it as Jerry's house. Then, in February 2007, the surf brand Volcom bought it for a reported $4.2 million and turned it into the Volcom Pipe House. Pipeline veteran Liam McNamara marked that sale as the moment everything shifted. Once the Lopez House became the Volcom House, a whole new era of regulation began, roughly a decade of the wave being fear-regulated. He admits it could have been done better. The fists and the corporate money were never opposing forces. They arrived together, and for about 10 years, they ran the lineup side by side. The contest deserved their own chapter because they achieved the remarkable feat of legally suspending the hierarchy. An event permit clears the entire lineup for competitors only, a flashpoint from the very beginning. The Pipeline Masters launched in 1971 under founder Fred Hemmings, and that first event was almost comically small. 6 invited surfers, a single heat, a $1,000 purse from Continental Airlines, fewer than 50 spectators on the beach. Jeff Hackman took the win, while Jerry Lopez missed the whole thing after being told it was canceled, then answered by winning it in 1972 and 1973. The purse hit $100,000 by 1991. And the event grew into the most prestigious contest in surfing. Da Hui runs its own answer to the corporate contest world too, the Backdoor Shootout. Founded in 1996, a team format event with no jerseys and waves scored on a 12-point scale, which hit its 30th anniversary in 2026. The modern era brought new royalty. Kelly Slater claimed his 8th Pipeline title in February 2022 at age 49. Days before his 50th birthday. That same week, Moana Jones-Wong won the first ever Women's Championship Tour event at Pipeline, dismantling 5-time world champion Carissa Moore in the final, collecting $80,000 and a trophy board shaped by Jerry Lopez, and earning the title Queen of Pipeline. Then, Vans relaunched the Pipe Masters in December 2022 as an invitation-only event. 60 surfers, half from Hawaii, a purse of $420,000 split equally between men and women, and no priority system at all. Competitors sorted out the lineup among themselves, exactly like a real session. That format caused real friction in 2024, when Jamie O'Brien, the 2004 Pipe Masters champion who grew up in a house in front of the wave, got left off the invite list. Pipe local Josh Moniz went public demanding to know how you could leave out arguably the greatest pipeline surfer of all time, calling it a slap in the face to the locals. The backlash won O'Brien his invitation back. Recent years have delivered triumph and tragedy in equal measure. John Florence captured his 3rd world title in September 2024, his first since going back-to-back in 2016 and 2017. Then stepped away from the 2025 tour with plans to return in 2026. And in June 2024, the surf world lost Tamayo Perry, a pipeline specialist and Honolulu lifeguard who had appeared in Blue Crush, killed in a shark attack at Goat Island on Oahu's east side, honored afterward with a memorial paddle out at Ehukai Beach Park. So what is Pipeline really? A wave discovered in 1961 became a society with its own laws, and those laws found their enforcers. First, a movement born of Hawaiian cultural survival, then a pack from Kauai, who ruled through fear and called it safety. The code has been defended with reason and enforced with fists, challenged by magazines and purchased by corporations. Money is the thread that runs through the whole story, but respect is the currency. And respect at Pipeline is never given. It's collected over years, one wave at a time, and the men who guard that system intend to keep it that way. Thank you for watching. Do me a big one and hit subscribe.